So that's my name on the slide. Collins, my full name. Anybody? Uh, like I said, I'm a dev, just like almost everyone here, and I've been working in Web3 for about 3 years now. That picture was taken in like 2021, so like it may not look really much like me, but like I don't think it matters. Yeah. Okay. I'm talking about improving Web3 user experience through chain abstraction. Um Okay, good. I wanted to see this. I wanted to see how it looked like on the stage. Okay, let me start with this, right? How many of you here are not devs, but you understand how the Web3 ecosystem works? Like you know how to create a wallet, you know how to interact with chains, you know how to bridge tokens from one chain to another, you know how to basically you know how to use the apps, like just wave something. You're not a dev. Okay, so everyone here are devs. Very good. So it's actually nice because I'll just be scratching the surface, and I would assume that you guys understand what I'm trying to explain. Next slide, please. Good. So I added this meme here because I kind of have social anxiety. So and I don't like being in front of the cameras and all. So I was hoping I would make this as a joke, and then you know when people make Twitter posts like "oh, inspiring session," and then they tag you, they post your picture and stuff like that. I wanted to say like if you're going to post anything, please post my slides and like not me, because yeah, like social anxiety. Thank you. But yeah, like it's too late because the cameras already pointed at me, and I'm sure even before this came up, like maybe people already take two pictures. So next slide, let's just skip this. Yeah, so the UX challenge, bridging Web 2 and Web 3. I'm going to try to be very, very fast because like my time is already running out. So it's common knowledge like that there's a very big gap, a very big UX problem between Web 2 and Web 3. So with Web 2, all you need to do is just like log in, maybe with your email or with your phone number or something, and then you're in. But with Web 3, next slide, with Web 3, there's like a lot of complexities. So major challenges around onboarding Web 2 to Web 3. And when I say like Web 2 to Web 3, I mean like Web 2 users, like people who are used to the traditional like Web 2 applications. You sign in with your Google account or your email, your phone number, and stuff like that. Complex wallet management deters new users. Exactly. So okay, I'll just list them. Also, unfamiliar concepts like gas fees, public keys, and stuff. These concepts they kind of create friction for Web 2 users who are trying to get into Web 3. They may not even know like what Web 3 is. They just want to use your application, and then you're trying to tell them, oh, connect your wallet, do this, do that, bridge tokens, all of that. Security concerns due to irreversible transactions. So, for example, if you're making a transaction via, let's say, Stripe, right? I want to believe there's a way you could retrace your steps and maybe like get a refund if something goes wrong, right? But then with Web3, like it's irreversible to the best of my knowledge, right? And then lack of password recovery options. So if you misplace your private keys, your seed phrase, that's it. Like you're done for. Next slide. So all of these challenges brings us to smoothing the experience for users navigating between Web 2 and Web 3, which I'll spend some time talking about like all of this. But in the next slide, I want to talk about tips on reducing friction for users navigating between Web 2 and Web 3 applications. So these may sound kind of intuitive, like, oh, like, yeah, like this is common knowledge. But I feel like most Web3 devs, I don't know if it's like the product teams or like the devs, they don't really pay close attention to most of these things. They just assume like everybody knows their way around and everybody knows what they're doing when they come on a decentralized application. So tips include implementing social logins and family authentication methods, like I just mentioned. Because with your Web2 apps, you're able to sign in with your Gmail account, every time your phone number and stuff. Sometimes you don't even need to sign in. Yeah. But with Web3, you would have to connect your wallet. You have to do some kind of sign a signature and stuff like that. Use clear jargon-free language. So for most dApps I have come across, right? On the landing page, you see like very big words and very complicated lingo on their website. And this is because they just assume that everyone who is coming into, like who is visiting that day app, everyone knows exactly what all of those means, right? And this is because most times Web3 platforms, they don't really pay close attention to user experience. They just want to make things work, want to ship the next decentralized, this and that. Provide guided onboarding experience, offer fiat on-ramps for easier token acquisition. So what this basically means is you should allow your users to acquire tokens via like normal cash transactions, and also implement progressive disclosure of complex features. So what this basically means is like you don't just throw all your features at your users, right? You don't just when they open the app, you're showing them like a lot of things complex, like you progressive disclosure, like just little by little. Next slide. So most times, if you don't do all of this, next slide, please. If you don't do all of this, or even if you do, it's kind of some of you may have these questions like, okay, so how does this help solve the problem, right? Aren't there Web3 apps that already do all of what I have listed in the previous slide? And then, good. The last one is some sort of a joke, and I hope everyone here gets it. So it says like, okay, how then do we interact or verify users' wallets? How do we verify if the users' wallets are authenticated if we use social auths, that's Google, Discord, whatever, rather than the usual Connect wallets, right? So next slide, please. The next slide is actually the joke with MetaMask as usual. Next slide. So all of these complexities would have your dApp literally screaming at your users like, what the hell is the polar bear doing in Arlington, Texas? Because like you're just basically telling them like they are not supposed to be there. You don't cater for them. You don't care about them. Like you don't care about new users. You only care about people who are very, very versed in Web3 to use your dApp. So and that is not like that. That's supposed to change. Like there are new technologies, new inventions, new research items that enable us solve this problem in Web3. So first item, account abstraction. I'm sure you guys agreed earlier that all of you here are devs. So I'm assuming you, one way or the other, someone must have heard of account abstraction. So when I came on the stage, they told me like I have to be interactive, right? So I'm going to throw a question like account abstraction, like who can like just give us like a 2-word, 1-word, what's it about, like anything? Okay, we have someone here. Your name or your nickname, whichever one.
My name is Franklin. That's nice. I think I would like to say that what I can say about the account abstraction is like with Ethereum name service. You can use your name that's attached to the ETH, and they can use it as sort of an address to do transactions to you instead of your normal Ethereum account. And so I think with that, it's easier for people to send money to you and do transactions and all of that.
Okay, that's awesome. That's a very nice answer. It may not be exactly what I was hoping to get, so I would throw the question to maybe someone else. Help us out. Anyone? But you said I should ask questions. Are you guys bored? I should keep talking, right? Next slide, please. Good. So basically, what account abstraction does, it allows users to interact with smart contracts in a more flexible manner, like more flexibly, via the ARC 4377 protocol. So if you guys were not devs, I would proceed to explain what all of this means. Maybe I'll have to do some Googling as well, but all of you agree that you're devs, so I want to believe that you guys understand what this means. So the ERC 4377 protocol enables us have what we call smart contract wallets, right? So the normal Web3 wallets we have right now, your MetaMask, your Rainbow wallets, your Coinbase, and all of that, they are all called externally owned accounts. But with the ERC 4377 protocol, we can now have what we call smart contract wallets. Next slide. So what are the benefits of a smart contract wallet? It lets you use a custom transaction logic. So with your normal traditional externally owned wallet, when you want to make a transaction, right, you have to sign like that. That's almost, yeah, you can't skip that. You have to sign the signature, and it's just you, right? Just you with the key phrase that have to do that. But with smart contract wallet, you can apply custom transaction logic. So for example, you can enable multi-signatures for a single transaction. So for example, one person has to sign and then another person has to sign. So I don't know if you guys are already seeing like how this can be useful. So for example, this is like right at the top of my head, but for example, let's say maybe in a company where you have like various stakeholders, right? And then you want to make sure that there are multiple signatures to a single transaction. Smart contract wallets help you do that. You can also apply spending limits, yeah. And then improve UX, e.g. gasless transactions and batch transactions. So with smart contract wallets, you are able to batch transactions, which I want to believe means like sending multiple transactions, like all combined at the same time. And then gasless transactions, which is not really gasless because someone has to cover for the fees, right? But with smart contract wallets, you can decide who pays for the fees. So it doesn't have to be the person signing the transaction. It doesn't have to be the person making the transaction who have to pay for the fees, right? So I'm going to shed more light on that later, but I just wanted to note that like smart contract wallets enable you to have like not gasless, like enable you determine who pays for the gas fees. So okay, let me quickly give the example. So an example of where this will come in place is, okay, let's say you're onboarding Web2 users to your application, right? And then they have to maybe sign something, maybe to make a transfer or something, right? But then your Web2 users, they don't know anything about gas fees. They don't even know where to get gas fees. Maybe you're in a relatively new chain like Scroll or something. Some users don't even know the DEX. Even if they're familiar with like Web3, they don't know what DEX to go to get gas fees on Scroll, right? So with smart contract wallets, you're able to cover the gas fees on behalf of your users, right? So your users, all they have to do is just like sign. They don't have to bother, oh, let me go and get gas fees. Let me go to Binance P2P to get some tokens for gas and blah, 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 stuff like that. Yep. Yeah, enhanced security. So with smart contract wallet, you're able to apply like custom logic for recovery. So this is like a whole topic on its own. So I would love like if you're enthusiastic, like you can do some research on that. At the end of my slides, I'm going to like drop platforms that enable you like use all of these services. Also, advanced features like automatic payments and app integrations. Next slide, please. So problem solved. Yeah, please take a picture, read. Yeah, next slide. Thank you. MPC architecture. Yeah, like I really, really wanted to talk about this a lot, but time is not going to permit me. But like this is actually like the main part of my talk. But unfortunately, they're chasing me away. So soon, actually. How this works, blah, 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 blah. Please take a picture. Thank you so much. I'll share the slides after I'm done. Yeah, so, and if you have questions, like, you can come to me and then maybe ask questions. Next slide. MPC in action. So these are basically platforms that let you use MPC architecture. So basically, MPC means multi-party computation. Basically, what it does is it lets you manage your keys without the need for key phrases, without the need for seed phrases or private keys. So basically, you're able to store parts of your private keys in different, how will I put it?